Colin. Oh, he's good. He's a two-pumper. That's so good. So I want to show you, because I want you to get so good that the moment that you shake hands with someone, I want you to figure out what kind of impression you're leaving on them and what kind of a relationship they want to have with you. So think what happens when I touch Colin, correct? Colin's hand. I have two insides of palms that touch. Insides of palms mean acceptance, so think about this. The more that palms touch, well, the more acceptance is felt between the two people. Some people understand body language and they use it to their advantage even when they're insincere. Haven't you ever watched a politician shake hands? He doesn't come with one, he comes with two. Because he's thinking the more I can get my palm on you, the better this will be for both of us. Or he may hold you by the elbow and say, it's really good to see you. I have seen people, they'll try to palm you up and down. But, and I'll put you right here, palms like this. Inside the palms mean acceptance. I want to show you the different variations of handshakes, and thank you for putting it up so that the people in the back can make sure that they see. Notice that Colin comes to me straight up and down. You have about a 9.4 handshake on the 10-point scale. You have a really good handshake. And I'll teach you how he got that, but look how he's coming straight up and down to me, so I'm going to explain and tell you what that says about his personality. Some people do this to you, though. They come to you and their hand faces downward. I'm going to give you the definition of that. This may be uncomfortable for you, Colin, but some people do this to us, and I'm going to tell you what that means, too. Some people act as though they like you, but they never let you get near them. Let's each take a tiny step even further backwards. Some people are like this. This is an insecurity kind of handshake, strong-arming you, like stay over there, I don't want you to get in my circle. Some people want to get real close and maybe touch you here, so I'll explain that. And then in business, you know that we still get this kind of handshake. So I'll explain all of them. So let me start off with is the two things I want you to notice when someone comes to shake your hand. Two things you notice right away. What is the position of the handshake? Is it straight up and down? Is it facing down, facing upward? And then I want you to start noticing how much do they point their pointer finger at you. Some people will point it this severe. You see what I'm doing here? Some people just a tad, you just do it way down here. When someone points a finger at you in the handshake, it usually indicates that they would like to have the final word, so you could just nonchalantly. I'm going to pretend that Colin did this. Look, he's coming back with that finger again. So let's pretend that he came to me with his hand facing downward. And you know what's one thing I just want to click in your brain is this. Everything I teach you about body language is logical information. You know that if someone comes to you and their hand is facing downward, you know that they want to control you. When that hand is facing downward, they're non-verbally saying to you, whatever we decide, I want to have that final say-so. When a hand is facing upward, like mine is here, this is always more submissiveness. So it's as though I'm thinking, whatever you decide, I'm perfectly okay with that. But when I work with people in job interviewing skills, or sales skills, or negotiating skills, and I want you to always remember this in your life, if ever someone were to come to you this way, and their hand is facing downward, and you would like a 50-50 chance in that discussion, make sure that you turn the hand like this. They won't even realize what just happened, but they will quickly understand that you're as prepared for this conversation as they are. Absolute best kind of handshake look is a straight up and down handshake here. What gives you such a good score, the 9.4, but it could be a little bit stronger, is that when he shakes my hand, he touches web to web. Now, I do not want to get into your personal lives, but I just need to know, have you been touching each other's webs? This is the web right here between our thumb and our pointer finger, and I'll put you with your shoulders facing me. So the correct way to shake hands, see how far it comes in? See how far it comes in? And then it allows us to have a good firm handshake. And I know you've had some training in this, or I bet your mom or your pop when you were a kid said to you, the kind of handshake we give is very indicative of our level of self-esteem. When it is firm, it just says, I feel good about me. In this day and age, look, come on, to get another to have confidence in you, you have to give them a good firm handshake. This is not a business handshake. It's not. It can be used like today in a social, because this really comes from this. So if someone just catches my fingers, I'm like, are they going to kiss me or what? You have to really reach in all the way. So make sure you still point that finger at me, so that's okay. this is kind of silly, but we do teach this, that the correct number of pumps in a handshake is 3. And I know better, sometimes I get excited, but I'll pump 10 times, but it is 3. Let's try 3 pumps. So let's say we're first meeting and we're kind of excited to see each other. We say, hey, it's good to see you, so we go. It's about a 5 pumper, it's okay. I don't care how many times you pump, but I just want to tell you what the textbook's saying. I want to show you this tiny, tiny gesture that all of you can use to get the upper hand when someone's first greeting you. I want you to just see this, and we need to put our shoulders to each other, because it says in body language the proper way to shake someone's hand is to completely square your shoulders to their shoulders. Because it always says that we point our bodies, in fact it says we point our belly buttons where our minds want to go. Because if I'm shaking his hand and I'm pointing towards you, let's say I'm saying, hey, it's good to see you, that is quite discourteous to this young man. I need to be in front of you so that you know that I want to have that conversation with you. So let me show you this tiny, tiny little gesture. See, I'm holding on to him here. See this little bitty thing here? Sometimes people don't even notice it, but it's pretty powerful. It's called anchoring. And I would explain to you where it comes from and how you can use it to your advantage. The only acceptable area that I can touch another in a business situation is anywhere between the wrist and the elbow. You can always touch here. It's acceptable. If I would touch him here, and he's not my friend yet, he may feel that I'm invading his personal space. But look, we live in Texas, so we hug people, we kiss people. But let's say you have a first formal meeting with someone, and you want to make another connection with them. It is perfectly okay to do this. Let me give you the definition of this. If I hold on to you here during a handshake, it non-verbally sends a message that says, I am fully present in this conversation. What happens is that it just stops you for a second. You give the person good eye contact and you validate that person as an individual. Because so many times, don't people shake your hand and then they dismiss you? Haven't you had that little feeling happen to you in life? If you're holding on to them here, they will never comfortably let go of you till you're ready to be let go of. And one thing you can remember too is that every time you have a meeting, you have 2 opportunities for handshakes. There's always going to be an entrance handshake, and there will always be an exit handshake. If your first handshake is not to your liking, then during the meeting you can say to yourself, by golly, I'm going to give them a good handshake before I leave them, because never let them think that you don't know how to shake hands. And also, oftentimes, if we can put our hands down for a minute, people say to me, what about those who hurt you when they shake your hand? There is no sense that someone hurts you. They're doing it sometimes because they lack in self-esteem, and they feel that if they cause you some pain, that you will think they're powerful, but it is not that they're powerful. Something is lacking within them. There's no sense that someone should do that. Give my friend a hand. Thank you.